Hi, learners. My name is Mark. I want to welcome you back again this week. We're going to talk a little bit more about banking with my friend Steve.
Hi, everybody.
Thanks for joining us again today, Steve. I
Of
was
course.
hoping that today you might be able to teach us a little bit about credit.
Okay, I'll be happy to.
Fantastic. Credit, from what I understand, is how the bank keeps track of whether or not you spend money well, how much income you have, and if you pay your debts.
Exactly. It's it's
And
it's a good measure of how responsible you are as far as kind of the financial system thinks about it. So
if I were
having
new,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
so if I were new to the area or new to the country, how do I get credit so that I can get things later?
Well, a lot of times the first step is having a relationship with the bank. That could be either a checking account or a savings account. And if you have that relationship in place, a lot of times banks are going to kind of look at that as the first step into building your credit with them and having some trust with you because they can see that you manage your money well, that you aren't spending more money than you have, basically that you're behaving yourself.
And you told us about how to open a checking or savings account last week. We appreciate that. Once I've done that and I want to build more credit, so say someday I could buy a house or a car to make it easier to get to work, what's my next step?
Well, depends on kind of how much you're looking to borrow. The first, a great first step I would recommend is what's called either a secured card, which is a secured credit card, and that allows you to take out, say, this much money, but you can use this much, you can use this much, you can use that much, and you can kind of it gives you kind of a little limit that you have access to. The
So,
other option is a loan, which is a secured loan. And a secured loan, you start off with that one and you pay it down, 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 down. So it allows you to but the way that a secured loan is set up, you're using your money. So you're putting your money kind of aside and you're saying, hey, Wells Fargo, I want to build a relationship with you or whoever your bank is. And you're saying, I'm responsible and give me a shot.
so I've heard of people getting credit cards and getting in trouble from spending money they don't have. But with a secured credit card like you're speaking of, I can only spend money I already have. And that
Mhm.
shows I'm responsible to the bank.
Exactly.
So once I have this credit established and I've spent time at a job, what kind of interesting things can a bank loan me money to get?
You can use it to buy a motorcycle. You can use it to buy a car.
Uh
You
huh.
can use it to buy a house.
Yeah. I have a
Yeah.
friend locally who wanted to fix up his house. And he told me since he owned his house, he went to the bank and they loaned him money to add nice things on.
hmm
What?
Exactly. If you need to fix something up, they have what's called a home equity account. Home equity account is kind of like that line of credit that we were talking about, but because it's secured by your house, as opposed to just maybe having unsecured, it has a much lower rate than a lot of credit cards or other methods that you could use to pay for the things that you need.
All right. So if I'm new in the area and I got a checking or savings account, I could then later look at a secure loan. And that would
Mhm.
help me build credit if I wanted to buy a house or a car later on.
Exactly.
All right. And if I was at a position where I already had a bank account and I wanted to move into borrowing unsecured money, I could go into the bank and visit them. Is there someone there who could help me?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. We have banks always have loan officers, and then they've also got underwriters. The loan officer will help you take the application. A lot of times you want to bring your driver's license or a passport. You'll want to bring pay stubs.
Mhm.
You might want to bring your tax returns as well. And when you come in, you show them all that, and they can send it to the underwriter. And then the underwriter looks at all those pieces of paper and says, okay, this is a person that we feel comfortable is good at using their money and is good at managing their finances. So we're going to go ahead and give them a loan.
All right. Well, it sounds like after you told us last week how a bank could help us with a checking or savings account to keep our money safe, there are also people at the bank who will keep their money safe if they loan some to me.
Correct.
That sounds very fair. I want to reassure everybody that no matter where you live in the Roanoke Valley, there's a bank near you. One maybe your employer works with, or one in your neighborhood. If you visit any bank, they'll do their best to help you take good care of your money and acquire more money if you need it in the future. Is that right, Steve?
That's correct. That's correct.
We really appreciate you coming around again and again to talk to us about banking, Steve. I
I'm
can't
happy
wait
to
to
help.
hear, pardon?
I'm happy to help.
I can't wait to hear what you have to tell us next week. I'm sure we'll find something else to talk about.
Sure.
I want to remind everybody, try and stay inside, wear your mask, wash your hands thoroughly, and stay safe. Steve and I will come back with more banking questions and answers for next week.
Stay healthy, everybody.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Be well, everybody.